ShipNet User Training Presentation. ShipNet is a maritime enterprise resource planning tool which provides vessels with an information management system for planned maintenance, requisition, and HSQE management for the SeaTeam fleet. ShipNet is password controlled. Each user will be provided a login ID and password for his or her specific position on board. The login ID is based on the vessel 3-digit code, for example 105 for Front Nord, 113 for Golden Empress, followed by the user's position. If any action is pending or required, an alert log will appear in front of the home page on login. These alerts and notifications contain valuable and important information or instructions from the office. The ShipNet main menu bar appears on the left of the screen. Tabs are provided to segregate function and allow access to the various modules available in the software. The main tabs activate the ShipWorks planned maintenance system, the requisition system, the technical reporting system, the HSQE reporting system, a directive and alerts viewer, a feedback reporting system, a manuals viewer, and a report production module where analytical queries to the database can be run. An overview of the ShipNet planned maintenance system. ShipNet PMS System Explorer provide categorized classification of equipment. Specifications, spare parts and associated maintenance work procedures can be accessed using the Systems Explorer module. Maintenance planning is the core PMS module. The Maintenance Due tab holds the list of work orders for the various ranks of officers and engineers with color coding to signal the nearness of the due date. The Running Hours tab provides details of the running hours. Meters on board the ship are fitted for updating the running hours readings in ShipNet. Work orders are generated under the Maintenance Due tab. The created work orders are found under the Open Work Orders tab. It's from here work orders can be updated and closed. The maintenance record is then updated once work order has been completed. The equipment history is the place where the records of completed work orders can be accessed to find specific details of the work completed. Storage Location module helps record the physical storage locations of a ship. By creating a location directory in the system and assigning spares, tracking of location of spares is simplified. The Spares Adjustment module allows monitoring of the spare part used when overhauling, repairing or maintaining machinery. ShipNet Purchasing and Requisition module. Overview. Requisitions for spares, consumables, services and provisions are prepared and submitted for the approval of the superintendent using the Requisitions module. The requisition header must be populated with the general details of the requisition, including the title, the department, the delivery port, and date required. Attachments with details to support the requisition may be included by clicking the New button, the Select File to be attached, and click Load Attachments on the pop-up window. The status of the requisition may be monitored by clicking the Status tab. Right-click the mouse to add or delete items from the requisition. The Order Status module informs the user on the status of the submitted orders. Requisitions that are delivered to the ship must be confirmed on using the Receipt module. ShipNet HSQE Reporting Module. Overview. The HSQE module provides reporting templates for audits, inspections, near-miss occurrences, incidents, non-conformances, and medical repatriation. To enter an audit, select New. Indicate the audit type from the drop-down menu on the right, and ensure all form fields are populated. No form field should be left blank. Add findings by using the Add button on the right. The default due date for findings is 90 days. If not closed within the due date, the report will automatically move to the overdue folder. Each finding must have a brief description included. All form fields must be populated. The green color on the list indicates that the findings have been completed. Elements must be coded to enable trend monitoring of problem areas. Click the Add button on the lower right side and select to appropriate element code from the drop-down menu. Masters, department heads and shop superintendents can enter comments about a specific finding to highlight actions taken or required. Supporting photographs and e-documents can be attached by clicking New on the lower menu and selecting the file from the computer drive. Every time a report is moved between folders, a dialog box will appear, allowing comments to be entered by ship or office. Each dialog entry will be recorded in the report's history along with the dates the report states the report was moved between folders. After completing all findings, the audit report must be moved to the Responsible Department folder. Each module follows similar hierarchy. Create a new report and select the inspection type from the drop-down menu. The HSQE inspections includes Safety Officer inspections, HSQE Superintendent inspections, PSC inspections, SIRE inspections, and third-party inspections. Each inspection finding is added by clicking the Add button and entering a brief description of the observation. Under the Details tab, form fields must be filled in for each observation detailing the cause, actions taken and preventive measure. Elements must be coded to enable trend monitoring of problem areas. Click the Add button on the lower right side and select to appropriate element code from the drop-down menu. Masters, department heads and shop superintendents can enter comments about a specific finding to highlight actions taken or required. After all findings have been completed, the report needs to be moved to the HSQE folder. HSQE is responsible for to follow up and close out of all the inspection types listed on the drop-down menu, including Safety Officer, PSC, SIRE, Flag State, AMPAS and third-party inspections. A near miss is a hazardous occurrence with zero consequence. No form field should be left blank when reporting. Select if the near miss involved people, property, the environment, or reputation from the drop-down menu. Ensure all form fields are populated. A near miss report is restricted to a single occurrence. The Add Finding button is thus disabled. The details of the occurrence must include the cause, corrective action and recurrence prevention. Code the appropriate elements by clicking the Add button and ticking the applicable boxes. Explanatory comments may be entered in the Master/Manager's comments box. Photographs, documents, or drawings may be attached by clicking New button under the Attachment tab at the bottom and selecting Load Attachments. All near-miss reports must be discussed during the monthly safety meeting prior to closeout. Once all corrective and preventive actions are completed, near-miss reports are verified as complete by the shipboard management team. After verifying the report, near-miss reports are to be moved the HSQE department folder for office review and concurrence. If in order, HSQE will then move the near-miss to the closed folder. Accident reports generally follow the same progression in ShipNet as a near-miss report, except for the Severity menu, which requires the user to select the appropriate severity level. Severity ratings are selected from the drop-down menu based upon their impact on people, property, the environment or reputation. The same severity levels are harmonized in SuBuilder for estimating consequence when doing risk assessments. Accidents must be categorized by type. For personal injuries, SeaTeam has adopted SciENV definitions where lost time injury (UTI) equals an injury resulting in repatriation. Restricted work case (RWC) equals an injury resulting in light duty. Medical treatment case (MTC) equals an injury requiring doctor's treatment. And first aid case (FAC) equals an injury resulting in first aid on board. The details of the incident must include the cause, corrective action and recurrence prevention. Click the Add button to access the appropriate element codes to indicate the consequence, location, unsafe acts, job factors, substandard conditions, McRM factors and root cause. Explanatory comments may be entered by the master or manager to support closeout actions. For any personal injury, the elements under the Injury tab must be populated. Click the Add button to access the element codes and tick the appropriate entry for type of injury and contact, body part, nature of the injury, activity, age, months in rank, months on board, and if induction was completed. After completing the report needs to be moved to the HSQE department folder. Non-conformity reports generally follow the same progression as other ShipNet except for the Category menu, which requires the user to select the applicable standard. Non-conformity reports do not allow issuance of multiple NCS on the same report. The specific details of the NC must be entered and include a full description of the NC, with an example, immediate corrective measures, and recurrence preventive measures. Like other reports, the elements for NC are accessed from the Add button. Select the appropriate code by expanding the code tree and ticking the applicable code for the NC. Explanatory comments may be entered by the master or manager to support NC closeout actions. After completing the report needs to be moved to the HSQE department folder. Medical repatriation reports are to be populated for all illnesses that result in repatriation due to doctor's diagnosis. This module is not for minor illness like coughs and colds. Minor illnesses are accounted for in the medical log. This module is not for injuries. Details of lost time injuries are accounted for in the accident module. Click the Add button only if there were multiple visits to doctors with different diagnoses prior to being determined unfit to continue sailing. Each diagnosis should be entered in short form as simply as possible. Any underlying medical issues that contributed to the repatriation should be mentioned in the record of previous illness. Doctor's diagnosis report to be attached along with other supporting documents. After completing the medical repatriation report, the report needs to be moved to the HSQE department folder. Feedback is different from all the other HSQE modules in the way multiple topics are reviewed, closed out, and filed. Each topic on the drop-down menu is assigned a designated workflow for review and a final destination file folder for retention of the closed report once actions have been completed. Masters must know the correct workflow for each type of feedback report. Create a new feedback report by selecting the type of feedback from the drop-down menu. Initial workflow transitions in the feedback module. Annual SMS review. Ship to HSQE complaints/grievances. Ship to HSQE customer feedback. Ship offshore to HSQE QS assessment. QS coach to ship follow-up quality safety meetings. Ship to QS coach folder safety committee meetings. Ship to HSQE ship/shore. Drills. HSQE to ship/shore drills folder /SSP review. Ship to HSQE suggestions. Ship to HSQE. As will other modules, line items can be added by clicking the Add button. Shipboard responsibility for closeout actions may be assigned by the master or chief engineer. Office responsibility may be assigned by office managers only. As with other modules, click the Add button to access the applicable element codes from the pop-up menu by ticking the adjacent block. Under the Details tab, form fields must be filled in for the particulars of the subject in brief description, as well as any problems or benefits. The bottom field if for the office to comment or indicate if approved. Under the Attachment tab, supporting documents may be included by clicking the New Other. After completing the report needs to be moved to the Responsible Department folder. QS meetings to QS coach all other feedback to HSQE. Management of change is segregated from other feedback into a standalone module in order to enable menus specific to the mock process. Create a management of change mock request by clicking the New button and selecting the mock category from the drop-down menu. Management of change requirements apply to design, equipment, operations, personnel and procedures. A detailed overview is provided in HSM Doc 007, Section 7.1 and ABS Guidance Notes of February 2013. As will other modules, line items can be added by clicking the Add button. Fill in a brief description on the reference line and populate the form fields for the particulars of the change as well as any problems or benefits. The bottom field is for the office to indicate if the mock is approved by a responsible manager. As with other modules, click the Add button to access the applicable element codes from the pop-up menu by ticking the adjacent block. Every management of change requires an HSQE Form 046 to be completed for the desired change, and a detailed risk assessment. Both Form HSQE 046 and the risk assessment must be attached. Form HSQE 046 is based upon the ABS MOC guidance notes. Requests may be generated by either the vessel or the office. Form HSQE 046 includes a list of potential impacts which changes might affect. All applicable impacts should be ticked on the form. Listed impacts must have risk controls detailed on a corresponding risk assessment which must be attached. A risk assessment should be populated in SeaBuilder, with each potential impact listed on HSQE Form 046 included as a hazard. Detailed hazard controls must be listed so that the responsible manager can be assured the change can be carried out safely. After completing the report needs to be moved to the Responsible Department folder for consideration. Changes in equipment of design must be approved by the fleet manager. ShipNet Technical Reporting Modules. Overview. Each module follows similar hierarchy. Create a new report and select the inspection type from the drop-down menu. Technical inspections include quarterly mooring equipment inspections, cargo, ballast, &F/W tank inspections, technical superintendent inspections, manager inspections. Each inspection finding is added by clicking the Add button and entering a brief description of the observation. Details of the defect and corrective actions must be populated for each finding. Elements are activated by clicking the Add button. Select the appropriate element from the menu and it will appear under List Property, and the coded element will display. Supporting comments may be entered to provide further details such as date completed and how the defect was rectified. Applicable technical forms and supporting documents must be attached. After completing the report needs to be moved to the Technical Department folder. Technical incident reports must be generated for equipment failures, breakdowns. The severity of the incident is selected basis the estimated cost of repairs. Enter a brief description of the reference line and fill in the root cause, immediate corrective measures and recurrence preventive measures in the blocks provided. If multiple components failed, individual units can be addressed by clicking the Add button. For each piece of equipment damaged, access and code the applicable elements by clicking the lower Add button. Supporting comments may be entered to provide further details such as date completed and how the repairs were completed. After completing the report needs to be moved to the Technical Department folder. Landing advice reports are to be created when items are sent ashore for analysis, per office instruction, for repair or for return. Select the appropriate categories from the drop-down menus. Enter the agent's details. Enter a brief description and populate all blank fields. Enter the reason the item is off-landed under the Details tab. Select the Report menu and run the Off-Land report. Enter the landing advice report number, available under Vessel Report folder. Print the Off-Land report to document the transfer of custody. The printout of the landed advice report needs to be signed and stamped by required parties and then reattached in the system. After completing the report needs to be moved to the Technical Department folder. Routine defects or maintenance requirements are to be documented in Running Defects Reports. Under the Findings tab, click the Add button to include additional items. Then enter a brief description of each defect. Under the Details tab, populate a thorough description of each defect, corrective actions taken and any recommendations that may apply. Include supporting comments if need be. After completing the report needs to be moved to the Technical Department folder. ShipNet Directives and Alerts Module Overview. Company circulars are provided in the Directives/Alerts module. Different type of circulars are provided, but primary types are HSQE Directive Safety Alert Management Review Port Information QS Scenario Technical Directive Technical Alert Commercial Bulletins Future Legal. Masters and SMTS can identify the alert TTP by the prefix in front of the number. ShipNet Manuals and Forms Modules Overview. SeaTeam HSQE System Manuals, Company Forms, Ship-Specific Technical Manuals, ShipNet Users Manuals, Induction Media, and Safety Posters can all be accessed through the Manuals Viewer. Each icon in the Manuals Viewer will provide access to subfolders in Windows Explorer. Documents are controlled so that the latest up-to-date HSQE system content is always available in ShipNet. ShipNet provides a comprehensive marine information suite for planned maintenance, requisition, and HSQE data management. ShipNet can be an effective tool when properly used. Proper coding is essential to production of accurate and beneficial data. The company expects officers to know how to navigate ShipNet and maintain its functionality on board. Any problems should be reported to SeaTeam's department.